Face reality, people. Movies are dead. Games are dead. Narrative? Dead.
Media is nothing but neural trigger response and viral conditioning.
Wait, what are you two talking about?
Okay, just watched a movie that is available on YouTube called Theaters of War. Interesting movie. A movie that I feel needs to be made. Although I don't agree with exactly how they did it. They kept it too egotistical, mental masturbation, political. But it's also like, shit you should probably know about certain movies. Jesus Christ. I'll just skip right to the end. That I thought was the most important thing of this. Like, if there's any influence from your U.S. military, that shit should be front and center. Like, in the beginning credits of your movie. Like, this movie is made by blah, 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 blah. Or this movie is contributed by blah, 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 blah. Right? Because this documentary is not talking strictly about, it's not strictly about. Damn, it kind of is. It is about like script changing somewhat. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's about script fucking changing around, or narrative changing, or we don't like the way you said this about the military in this situation. Thus, change the script, or we take away our gizmos and gadgets that we're gonna give you for you to make your movie, or we give away rights to use like this name or this style of clothing or whatever the fuck. Yeah, it's kind of fucking dark in that direction. And guess what? It's probably movies you've seen before, maybe movies you like. I think you should get a disclaimer that the U.S. military contributed to us in one form or fashion. Maybe that doesn't bother you, which is, I guess. But if you hear that they're changing the script around to make maybe a realistic scenario turn into a kind of fake, God bless America situation, or oh my God, we're always the good guys in every scenario type of situation, it's like, yeah, you should be upset by that, right? You kind of want the real deal, right? Even if it's like dramatized for a fictional movie or whatever, or even loosely based on a real story. That should be welcomed by everyone, by every American, by every person watching movies, period. So I'm going to give it kudos for that. Where it's missing for me, though, is they don't mention counters to it. I heard nothing about Full Metal Jacket, which is, a movie about the military, or not about the military, but about a story involving the military. Movie called Good Shepherd, which is a movie basically about the origins of the CIA. Whether it's real or not, or they're telling, true information or not, I don't know. But it's still about that. And they don't put the CIA in good lighting. They don't. They kind of make them just very human, I would think. The style of it, at least. But this wasn't mentioned in this documentary. Something like The Dark Knight was not mentioned in this documentary. Where it's like, where Bruce Wayne. Well, I think it's the Dark Knight trilogy. Okay, you could say from, Batman Begins to The Dark Knight, where Bruce Wayne's like, okay, we're no longer selling these things to the fucking military, or Bruce Wayne's not going to allow this, creepy businessman take over the company and sell these things to the fucking military. I'm gonna stop you from doing that. It'd be interesting to be like, hey, what movies do you guys support? Are you guys into movies at all? Like, are you into movies? Or are you one of those guys like, I don't even watch TV? Like a bragging point. I don't watch TV. Like it's cool to do that or something. Like, I understand. I understand that, but like, how the fuck would you know if someone was changing the game in regards to film or not? In regards to propaganda in films, how would you know that unless you're like a fan of these things or you're into it? If you're just running around looking for U.S. military, U.S. military, U.S. military. Yes, I can gain some very valuable information from that, me as a viewer. But maybe those guys miss out on kind of the art portion of it. I hope not. I hope these guys are just movie fans and they notice this shit. They see all these Michael Bay fucking movies and they realize what's happening. I hope that's the case. Like I hope they see Transformers and see what's going on in that movie. Like, I see it. I see it clear as day. I hope that's why they notice this and like, we should make a movie about this or a documentary about this, or contribute to a documentary. That'd be cool to me. But if you're not like a fan of this, that'd just be weird to me because there's plenty of things saying to do the opposite in film. They exist, but you know it is what it is. People end up just buying one way or another, and they end up like becoming in separate groups. No one talks to each other. Everyone gets fucking like there's no actual gain from it, in my opinion. Plus, you know, me personally, I'm selfish, bro. Like I want to see it all. No, don't look at that. That's propaganda. I want to see it. Like show me. Like I want to look at it. Like I'm fully confident it's not going to quote unquote trick me. I want to see it. It sounds interesting. And then I can walk away saying like, I don't think that was propaganda, or that was 100% propaganda. In fact, you missed this, this, and this, because my eyes are open when I'm watching things. I thought that's what everyone wanted, to be like, yo, I'm an adult. I can handle seeing this, this, or that. Right? Like, just no quote unquote preconceived notions about anything. Hey, show me. Let me see it. And I'll give my actual judgment on it when I see it. That's what I'm hoping for. I don't want it to be full blown. Well, yeah, I threw my TV out in 2008. You know, I threw it away. I threw it in the garbage, huh? Like a bragging point. Like, bro, you're fucking boring, then. Unless you have some legit fucking reason, bro. Why are you afraid of some fucking moving pictures on a screen? But whatever. I get it. Alright. I guess I'll list off some movies that I thought were interesting that were in this movie that people may not know had some background writing or edits to the story. Okay, Transformers, I think everyone knows about that, right? Transformers, I'm pretty sure most movie fans would notice that shit. Iron Man 1 and 2. Now, 1, when I watched Iron Man 1, I thought there's a little bit of anti-Middle East war in there. Like, okay, Tony Stark's a fucking weapons dealer, right? Or his company or whatever the fuck. But he's like a playboy. Like, he doesn't give a fuck about it. He's just making money. And then he gets trapped there. And then he has to essentially build the DNA of the Iron Man suit. And you would assume that, like, okay, he's learning a lesson about, like, hey, you can't just deal weapons everywhere, right? Because maybe people can't handle that. It turns into something bad. But I guess the movie turns around and he ends up going back there and fucking people up anyways. You know, typical faceless goons from the military. Or from like, oh, Al-Qaeda. Faceless fucking goons. Okay. I'm gonna have to like rewatch that one, I guess. Cause I don't know. I swore there was some element to it to where like Tony was an idiot when he was supporting weapons deals in the Middle East and all that shit, and he was an idiot for doing that. Not just because you're giving the weapons to terrorists, but also because like you're kind of boosting up war, and that's like not heroic, and you're a piece of shit for doing that, and you have to learn from your mistakes, type of thing. I'll have to rewatch it for that, but I can see what the documentary's saying. Iron Man 2 and Iron Man 3, like, God. Tragic movies are dog shit. I don't feel like rewatching those. I'll just go with, like, yeah, it's propaganda, fuck it. Move on from there. Black Hawk Down, kind of obvious. A Few Good Men. Now, there's an interesting drama in the middle of Few Good Men that it kind of like pulls your attention away from the military is just a setting of it. It's not really what the movie's about. I don't think. It's it's more of a crime drama than it is about military rah rah yeah shit. I mean, same with, I mean, kind of like Top Gun Maverick. Top Gun Maverick, yes, it is glorifying the military, but Top Gun Maverick was more about like celebrating the characters that existed before and oh the nostalgia and oh yeah, it was is okay. Is they went from point A to point B. I'll give them credit for that, but other than that, it's nothing spectacular, nothing great out of there. But I guess people liked it, so it's worthy of mention, I guess. Here's one that surprised the shit out of me. Meet the Parents. That surprised the shit out of me. That they changed Robert De Niro's fucking character around to where like he's supposed to be like, you know, like intelligence or something, and he, you know, a funny scenario where Ben Stiller marries this girl or is trying to marry this girl, and the dad, the father-in-law or the future father-in-law is like some intelligence fucking goon motherfucker. Thus, like, you can't get away with shit. He's gonna like press you, like, oh, it's actually kind of comical. Okay, but I didn't know they'd fucking change the thing around to make Robert De Niro's character less espionage-ish, if that makes sense, less CIA-ish. I guess that's what they were doing. Whatever. Overall though, okay, the documentary overall. Damn, I wish there was more movies mentioned that they put that these creators would put in a good light. I wonder what those movies are, other than Oliver Stone. I'm also curious what their judgments of the movies themselves are. Because, listen, if you're going to talk about movies, why not give me a judgment of the movie? Like, Meet the Parents is not all prop. Even if they changed Robert De Niro's character around, the movie's not about a fucking propaganda. I don't think it's propaganda at all, really. Personally. Sure, someone at the CIA or someone can complain about it, like, hey, change that in your fucking script. And then someone at whatever studio it came out of, Warner Brothers, Fox, whatever, they're like, hey, man, change this shit or I'm going to get fucking yelled at by the CIA. Change that part in your script or your fucking, or that shot. Get rid of that shot. Edit that out. I can see that, but it doesn't make the movie good or bad, like, good or bad at that point. Doesn't. So, like, you have to deal with it, bro. If you want to be an honest filmmaker, like these guys may be trying to do, it's like, hey, if there's propaganda in it, does it make the movie bad? It doesn't necessarily make the movie bad. The context, yes, makes the movie bad. But does it make it, like, the quality of what you're seeing? That's what I wish they would have went over, because most of the movies they blatantly point out as, like, you are pure pro-propaganda ass bullshit. They kind of sucked. They're kind of shitty movies. I saw multiple references to Iron Man 2 and Transformers 2 and 3 and all that shit. Or Fast and Furious. Like, they're already dog shit movies. So, like, are they just attracting, like, meatheads? Like, dumb fucks that like these dumb fucking movies? Maybe. Maybe make a point with that. Like, there's room to make a point with that, man. Like, people who would just turn their brains off and watch movies. Like, I'm just taking my girlfriend out to the movies and I'm going to watch it. Oh, shit. When I left the theater, I was like, man, maybe I should sign up for the fucking military. I'm sure that exists, man. I'm sure it exists. Like, man, maybe, like, really go into that. But I get it. They're trying to do the objective journalist thing, I guess. Where they just point out the who, what, wheres, and whens type of thing. Like, yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. All right. I mean, damn, I would have wished they would have went over something that they think is a positive movie. Maybe a little bit. Because there's a lot of movies that there's not that much. Relatively speaking, there's not that many movies they mentioned. Right, considering like all the movies I've seen in my life, they've mentioned like a small amount of ones I've seen. And it's like, yeah, but they're not that great of films in the first place. They're not all timers, you know. And maybe that helps the quality of film. Like, hey, get rid of this propaganda. We don't have to have any more fucking Michael Bay bullshit. Maybe there's a point to that. I don't know. All right. Either way, I recommend this documentary just for thought-provoking purposes. I'm not going to grade it because it's a documentary. I don't think we should grade documentaries. Yeah, I'm not going to grade it. But I'm going to recommend it. I pointed out what I think are flaws. I pointed out what I think are high notes. It is what it is. Hopefully you enjoy it. It's free on fucking YouTube. You should all check it out. Theaters of War. Go enjoy it.